So you guys have been asking for some Power Stroke 7.3 content, and here we are. We have this request from Braden French saying, hey, so on my 7.3, I need two 205/30s or so, and I've got, this, that, and the other for upgrades, and just looking for some guidance. Well, so the conversation is the same. Physics is physics, right? So if you keep your nozzle size at a 30%, you can still atomize that fuel. Your exhaust gas temperatures aren't going to go ballistic, and you can still go ahead and support everything that you want to do. Now, in this case here, Braden's he's already got, a KC Stage 2 turbo and some bellowed up pipes and some other toys. I imagine he's got a fuel system, although I don't recall. Maybe I never knew. I'm not sure. Maybe you put that in the comments. But regardless, if you were to go ahead and you were to get a set of premium injectors, just stock sticks, right? That's going to be about $2,000. And you're like, okay, And then later, when you're going to be like, man, I want more, the only option to get more is going to be to go ahead and, do a forklift upgrade, pull those puppies out of there and get bigger ones. And so it's like, well, that kind of stinks. So you could go ahead and you could migrate up to a 30 over nozzle, and you could get like a 160/30 if you wanted to. And it's going to cost you about $250 for the privilege across all 8. So now you're at like $2,250. But why would you do this? If you're following my content on the 6.0, you know I'm banging the drum of the 205/30. And why not bigger than a 205/30? Well, there just aren't enough milliseconds left to go ahead and have your injectors pushing fuel out for long enough to go ahead and dump more than 205 cc's of fuel in the amount of time that you've got. With a 30 over nozzle, pressure, Bernoulli, all these things, they have some play in this conversation. Well, so what's the conversation in a 7.3? It's actually quite similar, although not identical. So you can get a 160/30, and fine, now you get your 30 over nozzle and all that kind of stuff, but certainly if you had more capacity than 160 cc's of fuel, you'd be able to push that out. And so now we start looking at it, we're like, well, how big can I go? And so it's like, what happens if I get a 250/30? Well, your total price tag is going to be $2,685, and here we are in February 2025. But now again, the world is your oyster. And so it's like, so what's my favorite injector for the 7.3? If the goal is to continue to use it as a truck, if the goal is to only have to buy injectors one time, if the goal is to give yourself some future as you do other upgrades, that would be a 250/30. So, can you go smaller? Absolutely. You're just tying your hands. And if you never, ever see yourself going bigger, maybe you want to, get that 160/30 and spend the $2,250 and pocket the extra $415 spread we're talking about between the 160/30 and the 250/30. But if you're just like, future proofing, that's got some play. I see the value here. Yeah, I only want to buy injectors from that Ed guy at FICM Repair one time. And by the way, why aren't you buying them from us? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just seriously, saying, hey, you're never going to pay more by going through us direct than by going through us than going direct to any of these manufacturers, whether it be, well, it doesn't matter who it is, right? If it's Jared or Charlie or Jed or whoever it is, you're going to pay the same dollar amount or less by going through us. But then you've got a little bit of insulation policy in place, because we're going to make sure that everything works with everything else, and there's no finger pointing expedition. And of course, we work with these vendors every day, and they're just great people. And so they may be more inclined to help out a customer of a pretty ready for time distributor. Just anyway, it's just human nature. I mean, none of these people are bad people. I love our vendors. They are just unbelievably awesome and solid people. But why would you, don't you want a solution? Don't you want a little bit of insulation policy on that? And so the answer is yes, of course you do. But what injectors to go with? Probably 250/30s. That would be what I'd say. And if you go less than 250/30s, my concern for you is I'm going to end up selling you replacement injectors down the road, and I just don't want that for you. So, why wouldn't you go ahead and set yourself up? Now, recognize with all these options, custom tuning is going to be required, so we can hook you up with that as well, and we can get you going on all fronts. So I hope this helps, and just know that FICMRepair.com, we're almost together. Thanks, guys.